Welcome to highlights of the DVV Trofee, round 4 from Ronse here on GCN Racing. A wet, boggy day awaited the riders in the GP Mario De Clerq. It was Celine Del Carmen Alvarado and Anna-Marie Vos that led out on the opening lap. Eva Lechner, the Italian champion, taking a tumble right from the off. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado was leading a charmed life. She was being chased hard by Yara Castellan, who was not having it her own way. Blanca Catavas of Hungary was also looking good on the opening lap. As the race went on, Anna-Marie Vos battled back a 16-second gap to make it back to the Corendon Circus rider ahead of her, momentarily getting into the lead, but on one of the most treacherous downhill runs, Vos slipped out. Alvarado bossed her way through. Vos caught her front wheel, and that was a game over. Alvarado needed a second invitation. She kicked on alone, and despite the best efforts of the 777 rider, she couldn't close the gap. Just one mistake throughout the entire race for Alvarado, but it wouldn't be enough to prevent her from taking the victory. She went into the day third in the general classification behind Castellan and leader Vos. She was closing the gap in a timed series up to the finish line. Another great victory for Alvarado, who has not been off the podium all season. Anna-Marie Vos sprinted in for second place. It was just 20 seconds lost, while Yara Castellan, who had gone into the day 6 seconds behind her teammate, finished the day at 1:11. Confirmation of your top 10. Alvarado, Vos and Castellan. Behind them, Evie Richards making a great return. Sanakant, Arzufi Destina, Van Looy, Lechner and Norbert Riberola, your top 10. Mathieu van der Poel, Ellie Isabit and Toon Aerts making up the front row of the grid in the elite men's race. It was Van der Poel, as always, that led away from the start. A tough uphill run to the first corner, but it was his teammate Marcel Meissen who led out on the opening lap, the German champion, having the best start that we've seen to him so far this season. That group, though, gave way to a trio: Toon Aerts, Ellie Isabit and Mathieu van der Poel, who has been unbeaten since November 2018. Would this day in Ronse be the day that the winning streak would come to an end? The Belgian champion Toon Aerts, a great master of the mud, kicked on, and this would be his day. Van der Poel, coming back into racing after a tough training camp, was trailing Toon Aerts, and the mistakes were starting to creep into the world champions ride. This would hand the advantage to Toon Aerts. Behind him, Ellie Isabit was chasing hard, but Aerts was increasing his advantage with every lap. Isabit made it back to Mathieu van der Poel, the man who had started his season so strongly. He had been looking like he was going off the ball in recent weeks, but clearly back into the form that handed him so many victories at the beginning of the season. The Belgian champion, in front of a home crowd, would clearly and surely be given the freedom of the country after bringing to an end the winning streak. The effort etched on his face gave way to an expression of joy. Toon Aerts takes a historic victory. Ellie Isabit had gone into the day in the lead in the general classification. He lost a small amount of time to Toon Aerts, while Mathieu van der Poel had to settle for third place. Confirmation of your top 10. Toon Aerts sits at the top of the standings ahead of Ellie Isabit. Mathieu van der Poel third, Van Toornout, Malia van der Haar, Meissen, Van Kessel, Thijs Aerts and Jim Arnout's your top 10. Don't forget to subscribe to GCN Racing. Hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time we go live or upload a new video.